In the 1930s, a letter from Germany to Brazil could take up to 14 days to reach Rio de Janeiro. In February 1934, Lufthansa found a way to halve this time. Thanks to the first Dornier Wall and Do-18 flying boats, supported by refueling ships stationed in the middle of the ocean, it managed to deliver mail in just 9 days. These flying boats braved storms and currents in an adventure which, for the time, was almost comparable to a journey into space. But a few years later, Lufthansa wanted more, a larger, faster, and safer flying boat. And so Blohm Voss was tasked with designing one. Thus, the Ha-139 was born. It was a truly unique aircraft. The most striking feature was its inverted gull wing, which allowed for shorter floats, engines protected from spray, and greater stability in flight. To optimize space, the fuel tanks were integrated into the wings. The cockpit offered excellent visibility and housed a crew of 4. At its heart were 4 Junkers, Jumo 205C diesel engines, each delivering 600 horsepower, an unusual choice compared to petrol engines, which were heavier and more sensitive to cold, but offered decisive advantages: lower fuel consumption, less flammable fuel, and greater range. Its cruising speed was about 250 kilometers per hour, not very high, but sufficient to stay airborne even with 2 engines out of action. In March 1937, Lufthansa received the first Ha-139 for trials across the Atlantic, between the Azores and New York. After some technical difficulties, the rudders and radiators were modified, and in the summer of 1938, tests resumed with the B version, larger and with lowered engines. From there, regular service began on the 2 main postal routes: the South Atlantic, between Bathurst, Gambia, and Natal, Brazil, and the North Atlantic, between the Azores, Horta, and New York. To cross the ocean, the flying boats relied on support ships, such as the Schwabenland, equipped with catapults about 18 meters long, which launched the aircraft at 130 kilometers per hour, enabling safe takeoff with full tanks and the start of the long crossing. It carried up to 500 kilograms of mail, twice as much as the old Dorniers, flew faster, and had a range of 4,920 kilometers. It was a clear technological step forward, but competition with Dornier did not stop. In those years, the rival firm developed the more modern and sophisticated Do-26, determined not to yield the supremacy of the ocean skies. With the outbreak of war, however, this fascinating technological competition came to an end. The 3 Ha-139s were requisitioned by the Luftwaffe and adapted for reconnaissance and mine clearing. Deployed in the Norwegian campaign and over the Baltic, they had a short career due to the lack of spare parts and the limits of being used for missions other than those for which they had been designed. Nevertheless, it remained in history as the largest flying boat in the world until 1940.